Hey, everybody, listen, I put it up late. I'm coming through late. So if you happen to be hanging out with me, I'm glad you're here. Doing a quick, and when I say quick, and I got a friend that's going to come through and hold me to a time schedule, okay? I'm doing a quick 60-minute trending topics, and then I'm out of here because I got to go food shopping. I got stuff to do, okay? So, guys, quick story. Let me tell you. I'm not really a car person, and what I mean by that is I'm not one that has to have the latest car, keep changing my cars and all that. My previous car, I had it for 13 years. She had 300,000 miles and change on her. Had to switch her out and give her up. I don't know why I was so emotional about letting her go, but today I had to let her go. So I'm a little emotional about that because she took me through 13 years of my son's life. We've been everywhere and did everything in that car together. And she had to go. So now she's going. I got a new baby, but I'm here to do this trending topics. Trending topics today, I threw Kanye West up there because him and Kim went through some things. They went through their divorce, and it took them a while to settle things. But it took them a while to settle things, because Kanye West wasn't quite ready to let go. Okay, so finally things are settled now, and it came out that he has to pay $200,000 a month, guys. 200K a month in child support. In addition to him paying the 200K a month, he still has to pay half the school bill and half of their security bill that is going to cost them because they're a high profile family, so security has to take them to school. And then I was speaking to Robin behind backstage, and I was like, what does joint custody mean? Because for me, joint custody, why does he have to pay this 200K if they're going to have joint custody? But it seems as if there's different definitions for joint custody. So we're going to talk about that. But then Robin reminded me of Kanye West's song. What is the name of the song? Gold
Gold
Digger.
digger.
Gold Digger. They said that life and death is, your tongue. Like, what is that saying, Robin? The power of the tongue.
Well, there's some things you can speak something into existence. A drunk mind speaks a sober mouth. If you crazy Kanye, you might be able to see into the future.
Well, you know what? This song Gold Digger that he wrote over a decade ago is coming back to haunt him, right? It's coming back to haunt him because the bottom part of the lyrics are 18 years, 18 years. She got one of your kids, got you for 18 years. He said, I know somebody paying child support for one of his kids. His baby mama car and crib is bigger than he is. You will see him on TV any given Sunday. He was talking about Jamie
Reggie Bush.
Foxx.
Oh,
Huh?
no, TV on any given Sunday. I'm thinking Reggie Bush. I went football.
Oh, football. I see what you're saying. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, you're right, football, because he said win the Super Bowl and drive off in a Hyundai. Don't be talking about no Hyundai, Kanye West. That's what I got now. I got me a Hyundai, okay? Don't do that, Kanye. But it's funny. He said if you so pretty much he talked about prenup. I will say this, his prenup saved him. Somewhat because they pretty much got to keep their own properties. Kim had to buy him out of the marital home that they was in. But he has $97 million in property, and she has 140 something million in property. But he did keep the house that he purchased that is across the street from the home, that Kim and the kids live in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hot mess. But what was you explaining to me, Robin, about what do you call it?
The
About joint
custody.
custody? Yeah.
Oh, you would, because I didn't know that they I didn't know the breakdown, and I know that there are two types. Someone in the chat will tell us there's joint physical custody, and then there's joint something else. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. It might be custodial. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing because he has to pay so much to her that they don't share joint physical custody. So the children will live with her 100% of the time, and they may have some kind of visitation arrangement,
Okay.
and that he pays, that he's they make decisions about things like the children's schooling and such together. But because he's paying that much, they do not have joint physical custody.
I understand they probably just or have to make decisions about the
Hmm.
kids together, which
Right.
you know what, it can make a lot of sense. So it says here, Kanye is going so far from reality that he fails to see the repercussions that will follow in regards to his children. Kim needs to continue to be the proper parent for their well-being and hope she does so. He has issues for sure. But you know what, Ross, the thing is he has issues, but these are issues that she knew about.
Hmm.
You, she knew about the issues. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to
He
put it like that.
did not marry a stranger.
Right. That part, Robin, right?
Hmm.
She should get supervised visits. He's not well. Well, the thing with that simply Steph is that
That's a whole
what
nother thing.
yeah,
Because
that's a whole
not
nother
okay.
thing, right? I'm like studying on my words
Okay,
here because
I have the answer. Typically, when supervised visits um, are attached to any kind of visitation, there has to have been proven some issues in the past, mostly having to do with abuse,
right.
neglect, I probably instability, but he's a known commodity, and I don't imagine that would happen, but it would have to be through a series of different types of evaluations, depending on the rationale that one would need to offer for him to have supervised visitation. And
I
don't forget,
agree, right?
and by the
And
way, I doubt they're not out by themselves. They're going to always have security, right?
right, and somebody just said they got 4 nannies that need to be paid, so that's why he got to cough up that money. Confessions of a jaded optimist. Yeah. So I also wanted to kind of segue. Child support has been a conversation of contention. With many people. Yes, thank you, Miss G. Everybody, hit that like button as you come in. It's because there's many females that will use the children as a pawn, so to speak. You don't pay your child support, you don't get to see the children. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right now. So,
What you're saying is some parents will use child support like admission tickets, right? Pay
yes,
for.
that
Hmm.
is that's a good analogy. You are correct. And I think that is so wrong. They knew each other, what the other was like. Yes, they knew what each other was like. That's what I was trying to say. Especially so and the reason why I was trying to say that is because Kim knew these behaviors that we're seeing. I think Kim and her family, they saw them long before we had the opportunity to see them. And I think she was dealing with it for a long time.
Yeah.
200K is not bad for Kanye. He's worth 4 billion.
No,
But
he's not.
no, he's not anymore, Lorraine.
He was never
This
worth
is
that
4
much.
kids. Yeah, this is only $2.4 million a year. So
Can we
yeah,
dispel the myth of his wealth? Because remember when he was on one of his cray cray rants, he said he was the richest black man in America.
yes.
Not true. My boy Robert F. Smith, also known as Denver Rob, the black billionaire, that's the richest black man in America.
All
Not
right
Kanye.
now.
And I stand for my people.
There you go. There you go. So, Chef Kev, we have Chef Kev in the building. How you doing tonight?
Hey,
Hey,
Kev.
what's going on? How you
Listen,
doing?
good. We're doing well. So, in terms of this child support conversation, how do you feel about when some females, like Robin said, I mean, she gave the best analogy there, when they use the child support as an admission ticket to see the children?
Well, that's still, to me, that's they still dealing with hurt and pain from relationship, and so that's the way to get back at that person. When you know that that child is everything to that man, you know what I mean? That's his heart, and you try to figure out how can I get back at him, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the easiest way. The easiest way is okay. I can't hurt him, so how can I hurt him? So the way to hurt him is to keep his child away from him. Because if you don't want to see the child, it doesn't matter. But if he's in the child's life, it's going to affect him.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
So
Go
now,
ahead.
when it comes to Kim and Kanye, in my from when you're at that level, this is my personal opinion. Don't come from me. I don't think there should be child support.
Mm. And well, explain further. You got to go into a little deeper into that. So here's the thing. So child support, it's about many different things, right? It's about, in some cases, the female and the children will absolutely starve if no child support is given, right? There's other cases, and we're going from two extremes, right? With Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, where they both have a ton of money, but the idea is that two people made these children, and two people are responsible for taking care of the children, regardless if I am a billionaire and my mate makes $10 a week. We both should be not equally, but we both are responsible for the children. So even if you giving up $1, give up your dollar, but you made this kid with me, and you should be responsible also. So
Mm-hmm.
explain more why you feel that, because there's a money factor, that there should have been no child support given. So who should pay all
Okay.
the bills?
So child support is to support your child, right? And that's
Hmm.
talking this average Joe. I don't know what Kanye's worth now, but I'm sure he's worth a lot of money. And so was Kim. So those, I don't know how many. I think it's 3 kids they have. I'm not sure.
Four,
Or
4.
4 kids. Okay, those kids were born with trust funds.
do you know
Okay,
that for a fact?
them kids were born with trust funds. Here's a man who when I was watching this car show, um, bought each bought 4 Lamborghini trucks and put $1 million in each one to have them bulletproof because he wanted his kids riding bulletproof trucks. So and all I'm saying is they all got their own room, whoever house they in. They all got a chef, whoever house they in, and their education is paid for, whoever house they're in. So when
By
you
who
use
though? Wait, hold on, Chef Cat. Who is paying for this education? It's not coming out
well,
the sky.
well, my thing is this, and this is just me. If you in a situation like that, with both of their money is equally coming in like that, then you can easily say, okay, he pays for the school, she pays for this or whatever, but the kid's going to eat when they at his house. They're going to eat when they at her house. It's not like she needs the support. So, for example, and as just example, if Bill Gates and Oprah Winfrey had a child together, that child ain't going to starve. That child's going to have a good education. That child's going to have a brand new car when they get to older drive. That child's going to have a trust fund. What is the child support for? Now, if
See,
one
Kev,
person, like you say, is making $10, then we in a whole nother ballgame. If this person doesn't work, like the NBA stars, most of these young ladies who don't work, of course you're going to pay. But if you bringing in 100 million and I'm bringing 100 million and we got a kid together, I'm giving you money to do what?
I have the answer
And
for you, Chef
unless
Kev.
that money is going to me, that money should be going into an account for the kid because she don't need the money.
Well, see, Kev, I think what you're missing, respectfully, is that they share equal responsibility for the child. They're half and half. So they need to be responsible for the rearing of the child. Never mind that they both have ginormous wealth. It's not about, I can pay, or, because they both have that ability. This is a way to just equalize things. And the way that I hear you saying it, it would be akin to, since Kim got money, Kanye don't need to pay. And then there's this lessening of responsibility and attachment. There comes detachment, and then there'll be some resentment in there, no matter what kind of status they have, how big their bank accounts are. I think this is that child support in this instance for sure is a way to ensure that they equally bear the burden and of the expense of raising their children.
So if he's ordered, I don't know if it's 200,000 per child
Wait,
he's paying.
hold
No,
on,
no,
guys.
no.
Hold on, guys. Do I look blurry? Let me know in the chat, guys. Do I look blurry? Michael is saying I'm blurry. Do I look
It's
blurry?
fine to me.
You
No,
look
Oh,
good.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
but I'm saying I don't know if it's 200,000 per child. I don't know how that's working out, but Just say it's 200,000 a month,
No,
right?
it's
It's
50K
total.
per child. It's 200K per month in total. He has to pay part of the school bill and he has to pay for the security, some of the security too. So
Okay, that's fine.
I think where we're missing each other at, and you got to explain to me, is someone has to pay for these things.
I
So,
got the part about, so if he is required to pay for part of the security and pay for the school, right? Which I have no problem with. You understand what I'm saying?
mhm.
If he gives her $2.4 million a year, but she spends 6 million on the kids, I'm saying is that money should be going into an account for the kids in the sense of she don't need that. That money is not helping her supplement any income. It ain't helping with the light bill, the gas. Kim got that. And
Mhm.
when the kids are at his house, he got that. So what I'm saying is usually when there's child support, the child is with you most of the time. So I'm giving you money to support the child because guess what? The child takes the shower. You gotta pay that water bill. The child's gonna sit up and read. They gotta do the homework. The light gonna be on TV. So that I understand. She got all that. He got all that. So what I'm saying is when you're at that level, and my thought process is, and unless it's like a deadbeat dad situation, if they're both going to see the kids, and I came into and when she was saying supervised visits, I don't know what that's about, but if they're equally having their situations where they can see their kids at whatever time, I don't understand what the 2.4 million is that because I'm sure he's going to spend more than that on the kid, and she's going to spend more than that on those kids. Is it just a
So
formality? Like I don't.
let me jump in for 1 second. But Monique King said $3 million a year, including security, medical, is nothing for 4 children. Okay,
Yeah,
so she's trying to say Monique is saying he getting off easy, and
Mhm.
he is.
yeah,
So
because she
would
didn't
you,
ask. I don't think
huh?
she asked for a lot. I don't think she asked because here's the
Because she
deal.
wanted to be done with him because he's been
Yeah,
playing games with her for a long time about getting this divorce. So the judge probably could have said whatever, and she would have been like, okay, just to be done with it. But what I'm saying is, your theory is you want to, right now, you're basing it on the fact that we're talking about two people that have buku dollars, tons of
hmm
money.
hmm
What if you got the average couple? How do you feel in that case?
average couple is different
Why? How?
because excuse me because
Because the
you
bill
know
still got to get paid, right,
yeah
Chef
the
Cat?
bill still gotta get paid regardless. But what I'm saying is the average couple is different. I'm talking about at that level now. The average couple, and now with the system being more even, okay, with the system being more even, and one of my friends works for a lawyer, and then she told me nobody really comes out on top. Nobody really comes out on top. Because and this is the cases where she told me where guys was giving when her lawyer had literally told people, "You sure you want to go to court?" Because he's actually giving you more than you would get if you go to court. And they go to court and find
That's
out they
not
got to pay
every
back.
case, though,
Right.
That's
Kevin.
It's
not
not
every
every
case.
case. And you know what
That's
people
not
have
every
to,
case. But what I'm saying is, to me, when you dealing with a person in child support, they took it to court. If it's a deadbeat dad, we're in a whole nother category.
mm-mm.
But if this dad is equally paying and you're sharing this child, I mean, I have no problem with it. I had no problem. This is your child. You got to support that child. You know what I
Chef
mean?
Kev, I got one for you. You ever
Mm-hmm.
watch you ever watch Judge Mathis?
Not
When
really.
he litigates case and he talks to fathers,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about child support, he'll
Mm-hmm.
tell you in a minute, it don't matter if you make $1 or a gazillion dollars in a year, you need to put yourself on court ordered child support at minimum.
Yeah.
You know why? Because just like you're saying, he could say I bought this, I brought Pampers, I did all this. If he ain't got no proof, then he ain't paid nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
So
well, let me
so
tell you
And
something
that
about the
came from the
laws, though.
judge, Chef Kev, from the
But let
judge.
me tell you, I can go even further than that. You used to be able to prove that. Now receipts don't matter. My boy told me that. He said back in the day, you go in there with receipts and stuff. It don't matter.
right,
When you
that's what
have,
and
if you have a baby out of wedlock,
gifts.
your smartest thing is to put yourself on child support. If you and that woman are together for 8 years and y'all break up and she filed for child support, you're 8 years behind.
See, it's let me smoke us. That's the same thing. Chef Kat, can I ask a personal question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have children?
One,
Are you in an intact family? Or are the kids older? Did you ever have this
They're
situation?
grown. They're grown.
Okay, so you never were in the situation where you were not in having a need for child support
No,
payments.
no.
Okay, all right. Okay,
So,
great.
so here's the thing, Miss ATLN, yes, Superstar Stan, Cash App is proof. In every state has different laws, and you can prove some things if you have the receipts, and the judges will take that into account. Now, used to way back many moons ago, the courts kind of always favored towards the female. That is not the case anymore. They like to give, in any, under most circumstances, they like, especially if the parents are in the same state and within a good distance of the school, depending upon the primary home. Because you, if the kid is going to public school, the judge will try to find the best way to have shared custody between those two parents if the two parents want it. But
Yes.
yes, it is always better to have documented child support, because unfortunately what happens with some couples, when one of them find another mate, sometimes that mate can get into that person's ear, and they'll be like, well, why are you paying her $500 a week? Give her 200.
Hmm.
Nobody has time for all of that. So when you have everything documented, nobody's feelings can get involved. The judge hits the gavel and they say you got to give $250 a week. You give the $250 a week. And if one day you wake up and you don't have that $250, your bag, because it's going to go on, what do they call that? In arrears. And
Years.
whenever you do get that $250, you're
Sorry.
going to have to pay it.
Okay.
I've known some people that got in once their children were grown. They I've known some people that have gotten checked for 35, $40,000. Eventually that child support money will come your way. And it's not about whether the parent, the main custodial parent, can afford to take care of that child on their own. It's about the fact that two people made the baby, made the child, and both of them should be equally responsible for that child's well-being. If
Yeah.
the child needs sneakers, and they $50, you got 25, I got 25. And so, and if you don't want to pay that, and to avoid me having to keep calling you or texting you or giving you a rundown of what I need this money for, child support removes all of that headache. The check comes every month, and I do what I got to do, and that's that. Shannon, you're in the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
You're on mute, Shannon.
Shannon, you're on mute. Okay, Shannon, I don't know what's going on. My buddy's here. Hey, Maria.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, listen, Roy, I got to tell you real quick. We got the beat down. We got the beat down. People was coming with facts. They said in real time, Martell is a hot mess. We got to talk about that later. I had
They
to
was
put in.
coming for us, Diva last. They was coming for us in the email.
They was coming for us, coming for us. Y'all need to catch up. Martell is still a menace to society. Y'all have
Oh my
blinders
gosh.
Wait. Tell me, I'm not. You're just a menace to society, but not while drinking your juice in the hood.
on. Wait, say that again.
Oh man, that was a good one. I said, tell me you're only a menace to society, but not while drinking your juice in the hood. You
Is
don't know.
that from
Oh,
that movie Menace to
yes,
Society?
yes, sure, yeah.
I am weak. If y'all have never seen that movie, y'all everybody go look it. I believe it's on Netflix. It's called Menace to Society.
No,
It's
I've
hilarious.
seen it. I seen it. It took me a minute. No, 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 Leslie. No, all was good. All was well. They was just educating us, and I ain't mad if you just want to educate us. They wanted us to wake up because they said Martell is no good. I said I had to let the people know we woke now. We woke now. Crazy K. Thank you for the super sticker. Truly appreciate it. Roy, what do you have to add to this conversation in regards to child support?
I am so we were talking the other night or last night, and I was telling you that I used to be a child support caseworker, and so I have mixed feelings. Um, as far as the child support, I feel like for the lifestyle that Kim Kardashian that the children. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear
Yes,
you
we
now.
can.
He's going in and out, but you know what,
I
Chef
hate when
Kev?
that happens.
I'm feeling like Roy is about to come on your side of the fence here.
Okay,
That's
No,
what
sorry.
it
he's
was
gonna give us
kind of
both
sound.
sides.
Go ahead, go ahead,
He's
go
gonna
ahead,
give us both
Roy.
sides.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
so I feel like for the amount of money that they make, it sounds excessive, the amount of money that he has to pay. But
Hmm.
because of the state that they live in, number one, and the amount of money that he consistently brings in, um, it's right. I can't say that. I can't vouch for that. And I personally do not think that the Kim should be getting this money. I feel like that this money should be going into an account for these children for later on in life, because in my opinion, though the Kardashians are very rich, I also feel that times are changing, and cancel culture is real, and anything that you do in a split second can cost you everything. So I
Hmm.
think that this money needs to be going into an account for the children. I don't think it needs to be used for present day today, because Kim has enough money. She can support them on her own. I feel the money needs to go into account. But as far as what he has to pay for four children and in California, and to have the lifestyle that he has, is not a stretch.
Roya
Okay.
sounds like what
So,
I was
so,
telling you earlier, right, Diva?
say that again.
I said in a way it's like what I was telling you about backstage. Wouldn't it be
Yes.
nice if we just put the money aside? But
Right.
you know
So,
what? By the way, Roya, we know how real counterculture is. But as long as there are black women on this planet, we will always be appropriated by the Kardashians. They ain't gonna go broke.
let me
Unfortunately.
yeah, so let me say this. So Royer and Chef Kev are on the same page. I'm gonna speak to that in a minute. So Michelle, considering the money he make is justified child support is based off of income. Yes, Michelle, that's what Royer is saying. And I do think that I get what Royer and Chef Kev are saying, right? So Michelle, thank you for the super chat. So who said Kate said Royer respectfully disagree. Then Royer, you got Bernice that said I agree with you, right? So here's the thing, right? I think the point that is being missed is that child support when it's given, I feel like Royer and Chef Kev, you're feeling like if if the parent who has the child is given child support and they have the ability to take care of everything for the child on their own, then they should just put all of that child support money in a bank account for the child and use none of it to support and care for the child. So that is almost like saying they're not getting child support because all of the one parent's money is being utilized for the children that was made by two people. So my thing is that you're still not Shannon, you got to turn off in the background there. You got to turn off me in the background, and then I could let you speak. You could come off of mute. So the future. So
You,
somebody said future is not on child support. So my
but
thing is that two people are
go back to what you
responsible.
said before that.
Go ahead.
Go back to what you said before that.
What did I say before that?
I'm correct. You said if the money's going into an account, right,
Mm-hmm.
and two people are financially responsible for this child.
Mm-hmm.
If the money going in the account is going to the child, isn't he helping with the finance?
How?
The money, if I'm
The money is
paying,
for the child. It's going to the
yeah.
child. So
So if
whether
it's
it's
going to
helping
the
now
child,
or
help with
whether
the
it's helping
finance.
later, it's going to help the child. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that they should not have access to the money at all. But if we're speaking on Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's specific situation, there is no need for the money that he is giving, in my opinion, to go
In
to them
theory.
directly right now, because what is it doing?
Well, what I think, Roya, what you're saying in theory works correctly. And one of the things I have shared is I have one of my better friends. Um, when she and her husband divorced, she got child support. And while we know that that's exactly what it is, child support, I always admired the fact that every month when that check came in, she sat her son down at the kitchen table, explained to him that this is your child support money and this is what we're going to use it for. She used it for all of his enrichment activities. She used it to go towards his private school tuition. And this is my friend who went for the entirety of her son's life until he became an adult, no cable TV.
So hold on, Robin. But what you're saying is she just involved him with the uses of it, but she
And
still
she used it for
utilized
him.
it. Yeah, but
Mhm.
but I'm not saying that the money should not be used for the kid. She still utilized it to send him to private school,
Right.
to put him in basketball, but
Yep.
she utilized it.
Right.
So yeah, there's plenty of parents who are getting child support and utilizing it for the child's well-being.
And Kim
But
can do the
what
same
Royer
thing.
but what Royer and Chef Kev is saying that
They
put
got money.
because Kim Kardashian has
Hmm.
the money, just she should just take the whole 50K and throw that in a bank account so they could be rich later and use all of her money to pay the school tuition, to pay this, to pay that. Now,
I
somebody
disagree.
just simply making a good point here from what I read, and you are correct because I read it this way too, just simply. Kanye still has to pay tuition as well as 50% of the security, if I'm correct. I read that also. So I believe you are correct. But hold on, guys. Somebody is buzzing. But um, maybe, yeah, thank you, Roy. Yeah, that was you. Shannon, can you come off of mute? You want to jump in this conversation? Shannon, you're on mute. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Maybe Shannon can't hear me. Oh, Celebrity Juice, I'm glad you're here too. So Candace speaks. That's what I did for my son. Once I was able to do it all, I put every check in an account for my son and gave it to him when he graduated. Now, Candace speaks,
Oh,
that is nice,
that's
right? That's
yeah.
beautiful. But
You
see, the
can.
thing is that what I want to say is, for the most part, a lot of women, and I'm not talking about the extreme cases, a lot of women, when them receiving that check, is the end all be all. It's helping their kids eat dinner at night. So
Mm-hmm.
I know several cases, right? Some of them, the child support, it helped with the lifestyle of the child, going to private school, whatever. Some people I knew, when the child support came, it helped with the groceries, it helped maintain that child, and it helped maintain that child barely. And I know some men that were very nice where they gave the child support and still bought that child everything they needed and wanted. And then
But
I know others, they were sending like $25 a week and you couldn't get another dime out of them. And they always want to say, well, you get child support. So it's a mixed bag. Shannon, I see you off of milk. Do you want to jump in the conversation?
Yes, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm a little sick. You guys are saying the what about the 200,000 that they're both are getting? She has to give 200,000 and he has to give 200,000. So what about her portion that she has to pay toward the child support? They supposed to be breaking even. Now I do know he keeps the house he bought when she was with Pete Davidson, which is across the street from her. He get to keep that.
Yes.
He
Yes.
has to pay for her security. But they said she also has to give $200,000 a month for child support. So what about that
Oh,
money?
so I missed that. I didn't read that, Shannon. So I'm glad you threw that in the conversation. I just saw him having to give it, but okay, well, so then it washes itself out.
Right.
that's basically back to what I said in the beginning. Why they even like he take care of the security, help take care of security and their education. and the kids gonna spend most time with her, and they basically just putting a trust fund for their kids. So if
No,
you
it's
both
not.
paying 200,000, that's what y'all doing.
Now they're putting the money together, and they have the third party who's paying the bill. That's
Mm-hmm.
keeping it very equal. That I didn't see. I didn't read the particulars, so that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That sounds
And then
good.
you
So
gotta understand those kids are very spoiled. I'm in
yeah,
LA. Those kids are spoiled. They spoil rotten. So they got the
So
top of the line private schools,
yeah,
teachers, whoever. They got the top of the line. They're not a regular, just a regular rich person. They filthy rich because Kim is worth like $1 billion herself.
right,
Them kids
right.
just
and
got two rich, famous people, and they got the benefit of it.
And
so
I
two
ain't
point
mad at
four
them.
million
Right.
dollars is probably their tuition.
You
Well,
might be right.
that's a possibility. Wait, hold on. Let me read this. Confessions of a Jaded Optimist. My dad paid $75 per week for two kids, and then it was raised for 265 in high school. Okay. Um, I mean, okay, so I have a good paying job, but without the child support, my daughters wouldn't have tutors and extracurricular that help them get scholarships. But that's just me. Who said Kate? Exactly, right? Exactly. So child support is needed. But go
No, I'm
ahead.
not saying it's not needed.
Yes.
It's definitely needed.
Okay, but it sounds like Chef Kevin, I could be reading you wrong. It sounds like though, let's forget about for 1.2 seconds Kanye and Kim was because they happen to be part of the 1%, right? They're super rich. So let's go down to just maybe an average couple, so to speak.
Ooh,
Um,
Hmm.
Kev.
how do you feel about child support with just an average couple? How do you feel it should be handled?
Well, best way we go through the court system, and I don't think, I, I, as far as the money goes to her, she should handle this for the kids. As far as the money being handled, okay. On top of that, he can still do stuff. Because just because you're paying her monthly, don't mean you still can't buy sneakers. Don't mean you still can't pay for the lunch at school. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Doesn't still
Hmm.
mean you can't put. So that if it stops at child support, then something's wrong. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So a lot of
Hmm.
people who pay child support and they still do extra. That's I know a lot of people who do that. So the child support is to support the child, and however the woman wants to spend the money, like the court says, is her business. Okay, but the thing is that like I said, in this day and time, you I don't have an issue with child support.
Okay.
Because in this day and time, it's so even, and like you said, you know who you laying with. So if you're an NBA player laying with somebody who don't work, you won't pay. Bottom line is the story,
Hmm.
you know. But at the same time, it's this is what it is. Some people paying $50 a week. Some people paying $500 a week. You know what I mean? Like one of my friends said to me, she said, because he got 3 kids. He said, I need to take for so much. He still got to eat. I still got to pay bills.
It's
You
the
know, so
doctors, it's the babysitters, it's a whole lot. But hold on one second,
yeah,
Chef Cab. Candace, and you know what? This worked for y'all, and this is a beautiful thing. Instead of child support, my ex-husband and I cohabitated. That way our children still has a two-parent household. We split everything 50-50. How do you know, Candace, out of curiosity, how do you deal with dating? Or are you not going to date until the children turn 18? That's an interesting way of handling things. And everybody got to figure this thing out what works best for them. Thank you, Candace, for the super chat. Who said Casey? And other moms need that money for food, gas, and utilities. That is 100% true. 100% true. And so, okay, thank you for this update, y'all, because I did not read this part. On TMZ, it says that Kim pays 200,000. So I guess
Hmm.
that 200,000 it washes itself out, right?
Yeah.
She pays
And
half the tuition and half the security. So pretty much they're doing everything 50-50. And on that note, it's 100% fair.
and Diva, the
Yeah.
reason
Yes.
why they have joint custody. That's why.
Right. Me and Robin was trying to figure that out earlier today about the joint like before we started the live about the joint custody. So do you think that they're living 50% of the time in Kim's house and 50% of the time with Kanye?
No, they're not. They already
Okay.
discussed that. She's gonna have them more, but by them both on court papers saying joint custody is 50-50 split financially.
Got it. Understood. But they're gonna primarily be with her.
Physical
Correct.
custody of her.
Okay. So Candace says it's hard trying to meet someone else though. Yeah, but you know what though, Candace? I commend y'all for making that sacrifice for your children.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do. But it's nice that y'all are able to do that. I commend y'all, and it's working for y'all. And I think it's a great thing. And it helps the children grow up healthy. Especially if y'all are able to, talk to each other okay, and then that you'll really get along, and that it's all that setup is working for y'all. So it's a good thing to do. Sorry, I update. No. I'm glad for the thank you for the update. If you're talking to me, yeah, I thanks. I appreciate that information. That's right. She's taking care of 4 kids for his kids. Why is that an issue? Right. Kim and Kanye is not the average earning. They sure not. The average everyday hardworking people, child support is definitely going to be handled differently. 100%, Leslie. And is needed, is really, really needed in a lot of households. Kanye is too busy flying around with
Mhm.
to take care of those kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not 200K per kid. It's 200 altogether for all 4 kids. Okay. So they say Kim is the custodial parent. So she's gonna have them most of the time, right?
That's the word,
Um,
custodial. Thank you.
there you go. There you go. Yeah, who say Kat, thank you for becoming a member. I truly appreciate it. So yeah. So okay, wait, let's hear what Queen has to say. Queen, thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. Hey Diva, let's not act like this wasn't Kim's K's mission, vision, and purpose.
Let Miss Ebony go, digger.
Preach
She
now, preach,
said,
queen.
Uh-huh. Oh,
she said mission, vision, and purpose. The whole thing is a setup, my dear. Her business keeps booming by hook or by crook, lol. But you know what
True.
though? Listen, Kanye signed up for it.
There you
Kanye
go. You
signed
bought
up
it. It's
for it.
yours.
So you play, you pay. You play, you pay, right?
You bought
Yes,
it.
thank you. Go ahead, dear. So just go, I'm gonna go around and in general, how do you feel, Robin, about these women who keep the children away because the dad is not paying child support, or maybe he's behind in the child support?
I've never been in this situation, but I would like to believe that my position as someone without children,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to believe that I would not hold my children hostage. I would not do anything to drive any kind of wedge between my children or child and their father. We talked about this some last night, and I'm 10
Mm-hmm.
toes down on that same position that
Right.
it is important. You can't, you're going to be the bad person in the end if you do anything to come between your child and their other parent,
Yep.
because in the end, it's about their relationships and what they got going on. Wait, no, here it goes. What they eat don't make you fat.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm not with that at all. I say you encourage it
Mm-hmm.
unless it is harmful.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. It's like, like I said, you got 2 adults like Candace situation that are being very mature in the name of the kids, in
Yes.
the name of the kids. And that's really commendable. I mean, I like it. Chef Kev, what do you think about these females? And sometimes men play the games too. They will, tell the kids terrible things about the mom. To kind of alienate the kids from the mom, saying your mom is keeping me away from you, or your mom is doing this, and it's not really happening. How do you feel about that?
Well, as, I think the worst thing anybody can do is badmouth a parent. One parent badmouth the other parent. You do not look good. You just do not look good. Okay. If there is a situation where there's unsafe, you have to explain it to a child, and hopefully that child is ready to hear that. But it doesn't mean that you should, unless it's if it's totally unsafe, that's different. But you got supervised visits, you got different things you can do. But in that situation, I don't think any parent should badmouth a child because the truth comes out. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, the
Mm-hmm.
truth is going to come out. And when you badmouth the child, because somebody's going to be there and tell it, I'm going to tell you what really happened. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so now you're sitting around looking like, what? And now you're the evil person. And you're thinking all the sacrifice. So to me, if there's something, let them see because at the end of the day, kids know who was there when they were being raised. Kids
Mm.
know when you don't have to say much. You don't have to say, I sacrificed, I spent, I did this, I did that. You know who was there.
Mm-hmm.
We know who
Mm-hmm.
was there when you know what I mean? We know who was there. Then I believe that the kids know who was there. They know about the birthday parties and stuff like that. And I know women who have done things like put their name on the father's gift and say just show up.
Mm.
I've seen that. You know what I mean? Where my boys was like, he was like, oh man, I got no bread right now. And she was like, don't worry about it. And she picked up the gift and everything and put his name on it because it
That's
was
a
at the end
that's
of
a
the day it
that's
was
a
for
that's
the
a good that's a good mom.
that's for her son. So the thing is, he was like, oh, I'll pay you back. Don't worry about it because it's for him. You
Right.
know what I mean? If you want to buy something, but it's for him. It's for so the fact that and he was far from a good dad. He just ran through a financial situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He had 6 kids and he had all custody of his 6 kids. So it was just it's situations like that when you sit there and then now uh in this day and age, the other worst thing you can do is go on social media and say something because these kids read social media or their
Mm-hmm.
parents read social media. Now your son in school, your daughter in school, and everybody know her dad ain't paying child support.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And so
Mm.
we got to be very careful with stuff like that. So I just think that and let me put this out there real quick. I worked with a woman who tried to finagle her child support,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just to let you know
Mm-hmm.
how far it's come. So
Mm-hmm.
she took less hours so she could raise her child support. And
Mm.
then when she got the raise, she went back to her full time hours. And I don't know how this happened, but they called the job. The courthouse called the job,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they had to explain why her hours go down. And she said, and they said, and they had to tell them because she asked for hours to be cut. So in other words, I
Mm.
was cut off her care. So because I came in, I remember she was at work crying because she had to have paid back some of that money. And it was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it's like the courts don't play like back in the day. You just if you found that a child wasn't yours, you took a loss. Now the women got to pay that money back.
Mm. Well,
The women got to
Candy
pay that money
Speak
back.
said, you hold on one second, Chef Cat. Candy Speak said the biggest part is do what's best for the child. 100%. My son felt the love from both of us, and that is beautiful. Time and love is everything. Yes, it is. I thank God for child support. Come on now, though, because I needed the help initially. Yes, there are many people that truly, truly need the help. They're not just, buying themselves bags and shoes with this money. The money is helping sustain that household. So Leslie said, so true, Chef. Kids listen and they're very observant. The kids know who is there for them. Yes, they do. So Shannon, what do you think about, mothers who will hold their children away from the dad because they're not paying financially?
I have a lot to say because I have a lot of experience in that part. I have two children, two different
Okay.
fathers. One was
Okay.
disabled. We did the co sharing too in the household, but we had no intimate relationship. We did it for finances and to co-parent one of my oldest son. My
Okay.
daughter had a different father. So the first father, I didn't ask for child support because he was giving whatever he could. It wasn't like I was there and I saw his income. The second father had a lot of money coming in. I
Mm-hmm.
still didn't take him to child support. I just did what I had to do as a parent. But what he ended up doing is throwing in my face what he was doing for his stepdaughter, nannies and tennis bracelets and all that. He was bragging about our child that wasn't his. That forced me to take him to court. But in the meantime, when they gave him his time to go see my daughter, I never spoke bad about him, although I wanted to. But he had
Mm-hmm.
a kind of a rough back history when he was young. He used to deal drugs and stuff. He turned the money into a big corporation, so he still had a lot of enemies. So
Mm.
I didn't want to take my daughter from her father, but I was scared for her to be around him. So what I would do was take him to his mother's house and say, don't let him have her, but he could see her. His mother agreed with me. But the long term, after I ended up taking him to court, he died 6 months later. So my daughter never got to find out about the bad side of him. But now she's 30. Now she realized my dad had a bad history. And she said, why didn't you tell me when I was younger? You needed to find out for yourself. Because mothers could be upset all we want, or fathers, but sometimes your kids have to learn about their parent on their own. Then they might
Yeah.
have a different experience. So I never
Yeah.
talked bad about my daughter's father, but after she got older, she realized he wasn't what she thought he was. So sometimes kids have to learn on their own. You have to, long as their life is not in danger, they have to learn on their own about their parent.
You said a very key point there. As long as their life is not in danger, let them find out for themselves. Queen,
Mhm.
thank you for the super chat. Guys, let's put Diva in a midnight train to Calabasas to go get the real reason why Kim needs 200K a month for child support. Plus, we need to know how much she's bringing to child support as well. So we just found out, Queen, I got updated that the money washes out itself because both of them are responsible for 200K each, and they're paying the private school 50-50, and they're paying security 50-50. So I can get with that on that note. And thank you for my train fare. I love it. So Shannon, you're another one who handled it very well, right? And I think that people need a way to handle this situation because like I think Chef Kev kind of mentioned that sometimes people let their bitterness of the breakup of the relationship dictate how they're going to let the other parent see the child, and that is not right because the two have nothing to do with each other. Royer, I'm gonna come to you because you know you dealt with this in a professional way. How do you feel about the females that don't want to let the males see the child or the children because they're not paying, you know, the child support payments on time?
Okay, y'all. So I'm on my way home.
You're on your way home because you're going in and out.
So
Yeah, we can't hear you, Royer, because you're going in and out. I do know that you said you're on your way home. I would have loved to hear your side in this particular situation, but we're not able to hear you. So Queen said parents should not
so
badmouth their partners in front of
I,
their kids. That's gutter behavior for real. Yes, it is. It's gutter
I
behavior. And it's just
I'll,
so wrong.
I'll be back with y'all in 5.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, we'll wait for you.
Diva,
Let's
can
hear
I add one
some
more
last
thing?
words.
Yes, yes, of course.
I'm going through something now with my granddaughter. I only have one grandchild. And my
Okay.
son pays child support, but he moved out of California to Missouri. She's in California, but she would not let my son see my granddaughter because she's not getting the amount of money that she wants. He was giving her money, helping her with her transportation or paying her rent or whatever. But that
Mhm.
in court, like she said, Judge Mather, that's a gift. They don't look at that as child support. That's a gift. So now that her and my son is feuding, she won't let me see my granddaughter or my daughter see my granddaughter. It's been 2 years. So what my son is gonna
Mm.
do now, he's gonna take her to court for just
Grandparent
to see.
rights.
We don't have grandparent rights. I already checked it out. We don't have grandparent rights, but he's gonna take her back for some kind of custody. He can get her every summer or Christmas or holidays. But he's paying child support and she won't let him see her. And my daughter just told me yesterday the reason why the girl my son is with, she don't like. She never met in person. She just felt she took my
Mm.
son from her. I just found this out. So she never told me why she won't let me speak to my granddaughter anymore or get her. I have to get her for months at a time. So now she's saying the girl he's with, but she went on and had 2 babies by another guy. My son don't have any more kids. She went on and had 2 other children by somebody, but she said the girl that my son is with is the reason why her and my son are together. So now me and my daughter can't see my granddaughter. So my son said he's just going to take her to court and get some kind of visitation going. But we
That's
caught
sad.
about me for the grandmother, and I don't have any rights
Yeah, that's sad.
legally. Yep.
That's really sad. And you know, she should, wow, that's sad. Are the grandparents on the mother side, are they still living?
The mother's still living.
See, the his baby mother doesn't realize the value in the daughter having grandparents on both sides and grandparents that want to be involved. Um,
Hmm.
that's just really sad. I'm surprised when they did the child support, they didn't put some type of visitation order in place also. But it all depends on what you ask for and what you negotiate when you get there. So child support can be done two ways. It can be done by just the individuals going to court and getting a child support order, or you can
Hmm.
go to court, get the child support, and get visitation and everything, you know, at the same time. And sometimes you need what do you call it, a lawyer to get involved. Your son definitely has his rights. He will just have to go through the courts to make it happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they're talking to you. Yeah. Yep. And they're saying that he has to take her back to court for visitation. My mother-in-law didn't even like me, but I made sure she saw her grandbabies. We kept it nice.
Hmm.
Come on, who said Kate? Come on, who said Kate? Listen, this is a true story. My son, I would never hold my kid back from his family. This boy is 50 me, 50 his father, right? So, but my son, his grandfather, his grandparents, his father's parents, he's 17. He don't even have his license yet. He's going for his license in December 28th. They already bought him a car. And listen, God, that's an early Christmas gift to me.
Yeah.
That I don't, you know what I mean? That I don't even have to worry about that. I think you should never hold your kids back from their other side of their family. That's just so mean. No
It is.
matter
But you
what,
know, Diva,
right?
that would have
Uh-huh.
been me. I would have bought her car. I would, because she's my only granddaughter.
Oh
And right now I
wow.
have her set up in my trust, and she's I don't want her mother to get it. It's not my granddaughter's fault, but if I don't change my trust, the mother can take over that money. So I'm
Yes,
making
you
it where
can.
she's 26. I'm putting it where she's 26, hoping she's out the house and out of college. Or her mother, if she want to give it to her mother, fine. But I don't
Right.
want to take a chance when she's 18 and she's still home with her mother, and her mother won't let me see her.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I would change it and make it to yes, isn't that Leslie? I would change it and make it to she's 26. So Leslie, all I gotta do now is get the easy pass. I could get that and put them on AAA. I got that. I can handle that bill. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
blessing. But you know what? Even like besides that though, just in general, don't hold your kids back from their family. It's not
Mhm.
Hmm.
right. It's just not right.
Right.
And I wish you know, we gotta pray that, you know, that she something turns around in her and she
Hmm.
allows you to see, you know, your grandbaby, because that's not right.
And if nothing else, Leslie, let's just hope that you remain open and receptive and ready to give her the love that you have for her, and she'll receive it hopefully. And because I know Diva has to close out this live right like in about a minute or two, so she probably
Yes,
wants
yes.
to get some final
Yes,
thoughts.
I got stuff to do, and I'm waiting for my lawyer to come back to get his final words. Lorraine B said, in my opinion, Kanye got off easy. He kind of did. Dr. Dre paid 100 million. That's facts. Jeff Bezos paid 38 billion. That is correct. Kim
But
didn't ask for any type of spousal support or question the prenup. Lorraine B, you are 100% correct. So, you know, many people give Kim and the Kardashians so much heat, so much smoke. But you are right. She didn't question that prenup. She just left clean and free. And what happened, especially now that I know that they both are paying 200K, so it washes itself out. Um, this is nothing. This is nothing. And even the way they split up the property, because they had the prenup, He took his previous properties. She even bought him out of the I think she gave him 23 million or something like that for the home that she's currently in with the kids that he designed while they was married. So this is not, it's not a big deal. It actually went down pretty nicely. Sorry about your granddaughter. No child should be deprived from seeing their parents or their grandparents. Queen, 100% agree. 100% agree. The only time I would my boys from their family if they are being abused. Exactly, right? Of course, none of us
Mhm.
want any of that. But 9 times out of 10, these women are holding the kids back, and it has nothing to do with they really think it's going to be any harm to the kids. It has everything to do with their hurt feelings. And that's pretty much it. So, Warrior, what was you trying to say to us?
Hey, I'm so sorry. Okay. So we were talking about moms not allowing dads to see children because they're not paying child support, correct?
Yeah.
So, um, I definitely feel like that it is completely wrong. I feel
Hmm.
that unless dad signs his rights over, and I don't even just want to say dad, so let me use the proper terms. The proper term would be custodial parent. If the
Hmm.
custodial parent turns over their rights to be in that child's life legally, then that is the only option, in my opinion, that that child should not be allowed to see their parent, or if the parent is mentally unstable, physically, whatever. Those are the only reasons that the child should not be able to see the other parent. I would like to take the stigmatism off that moms are the only people to receive child support, because that is not true. There are a lot
Yep.
of dads out here who have picked up that responsibility of full-time parent and are taking care of these children, and they need the help as well.
Yep.
I do feel that sometimes it is unfairly done when the dad is the custodial parent and mom is the non-custodial parent, because in a lot of those situations we have mom not paying the child support because she feels I birthed the child, I did the work, so the least you could do is take care of the child, and that's just not fair. So I feel
Hmm.
on both ends, whether the dad or the mom has the child, that custody should be evenly shared. And I feel I kind of like what they did with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. I feel that both parents should have to provide proof of paying something or whatever towards that child, because there are a lot of situations, and one bad apple can spoil the seed, I mean, spoiled everybody. There are a lot of situations where a lot of the custodial parents are taking this money and using it for personal use, and the children are not benefiting behind the purpose of the money. And so I
Hmm.
really feel like that courts should put in stipulations to show proof that this money is being used to help the child currently or
Hmm.
toward the child's future, because some child support is just specifically for college, some child support is specifically for children under 18. So there's different levels to this, and I feel like that everybody, non-custodial parents and custodial parents, should be held accountable for everything that needs to be done for that child.
Well said. I mean, I don't even, there's nothing I could really say at that. But you brought up, what I do like, the point that you brought up
Thank
though, is
you.
that there are some men out there, and we give it up to them equally, that are taking care of the kids. And they, just like if you were the female that was going to get child support, if the male is taking care of the kids, then he should get the child support, right?
Mhm.
Yes, they're agreeing with you, Roy. Because good night, you're a little okay. Candace, feel better. Feel better.
Oh,
Alona, we're going to get rest. Yes, go get rest. Yes, yes, feel better. So, either way, whoever has the kids 90% of the time, they should be helped with those kids. If you are a trustworthy and stand up person, and you can to do this support without going through the courts, well then hey, by all means, go ahead and do that, right? But if you're not, and you're going to be flaky, your kids need to eat and survive every day. So we're going to have to go get this thing through the courts. And there are some people, whether it be the male or the female, when they get another mate in their ear, sometimes that mate will have them change up an agreement that was already in place and throw what I'm gonna call smoke in the game. So that's why, and two, there's some people where I'm not going to be texting you and begging you every single second, about shoes, a biscuit, is I got to pay for the basketball or whatever, and that's another reason why the court ordered child support can be a good thing, because you will have somebody that has the purse strings and has the money. And it reminds me almost like a Ashley Darby, that type of situation where you gotta constantly, you gotta go to them for the money. Like you can't buy a house because they gotta approve it. You can't buy a sneaker or a shoe for the kid because they gotta approve it. I'm not doing that. That's team too much. It's not gonna happen. So we gotta close out, guys, because I told myself I got 60 minutes tonight because I gotta go food
I'm
shopping.
sorry, it was my fault.
No, it ain't your fault. You know I love you. You know I love you. I got to go food shopping. I got some things to do, but I want to go around really quickly because I always like to go around and give final words before we close out. But child support is a big topic, especially in the community. So, Robin, how would you like to close this out? And in your closeout, what would you say to maybe females out there that are going through something similar right now, and just let them know, like, let the father see the kids? What would you like to say?
Let the father see the kids. As I
Period.
mean, that's it. That's the bottom line, is let the children see
Period.
their parents. No, the relationship that you have with the other parent is not the is pretty much not. It's what's the word? Oh my God, I lost the word. Anyway, it ain't got nothing to do with their relationship, and you need to stay out of
Yeah,
it. The only thing that you need to be doing is nurturing the relationship that is positive with them, and with whatever your issues are, you deal with them outside of, beyond, and without the child. I'm hoping that this all works out for folks. I'm glad whether or not you have the enormous wealth that Kim Kardashian and Crazy West have, or if you are an office worker, a sanitation worker, whatever it is, that in the end, as a parent, my hope and prayer for everybody, or every child for sure, is that the parents love their children more than they hate each other.
now see, that was, you pulled it through, Robin. That is a good statement.
Hmm.
Love the children more than you hate each other. I love that. And the friendly introvert, she said, Adiva, what about the dad that wants you to ask them for everything the kid needs? And that's why, friendly introvert, I am 100% into legally through the courts formal child support, because you're not about to sit here, humiliate me, or have me begging and calling you every second and telling you that I need the sneaker, and then you want to tell me go get the sneaker over here because it's $2 cheaper, and didn't you buy a sneaker just the other day, and a t-shirt and a this, and why do they have to play? I'm not doing all that. No, we will
Diva,
not be doing that. Yes.
Diva, I thought you were gonna say no. You can't have the Air Jordans. I'm gonna date myself. You can't have the Air Jordans. You got to get the 5411s.
Okay. Okay. We ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that. We're not doing all that. I'm not gonna. And the less, and I think it also helps too, because when you're going through a rough patch with your ex, the less y'all maybe speak is the better. And some of them, they don't want to go because technically they really kind of want to still speak to you and control you. And I ain't got time for all that. Let's take it to the courthouse and see what they say. Chef Kev, how do you want to end this thing?
Um, Simple. Know who you're dealing with. Know who you putting your sperm inside. Know whose sperm is coming inside of you. Know who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can tell you, because that's who you're going to raise, and you shouldn't be surprised. So if you know you're dealing with a certain type of person, then you handle it away. But at no point in time do you use the kid as
Yeah,
leverage. At no point in time is it's good. But like I said, if you can't get mad if you saying she this, that, and the third, if you know who she is and what she is and what he is. So to me, a good you can live it. You can be married with kids and not be a good father.
Yeah.
To see you every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's true.
so the whole deal is if you know if you got a good man in that house or a good father in that house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If he ain't taking care of the first two kids he got, well, make sure he's gonna take care of yours.
Mm.
If she ain't a good mother to the first two kids she got, well, make sure she's gonna be a good mother to yours. So know who
Mm-hmm.
you deal with. And I say that, and that's about it.
Thank you, Chef Kev. I appreciate it. Roy, you're cute as a button.
Thank you.
I love it. Roy, they think I'm poisoning you though. They think I dragged you on the Martell train.
I'm so dead.
We're gonna have to give him a different ticket to
Diva
get
drugged
punched.
me, y'all, and she dragged me right on the train right before the show. No, let me stop. I fully consented to grabbing my ticket and getting on the train with Diva. We were on it together, trucking. But I got off. I got off before Diva. I got off
But
before Diva,
you
though.
didn't get off before you got the ticket punched. That's the problem.
Look, I made it
It's
back
been
to
a
the
good
station,
night.
though, so it ended well.
Well, and listen, Roy, you made it back to the station before me. You know they got to give me about 13 examples before I turn myself around. I'm like, no, black love. They's like, no, he's evil. I'm like,
I was
how?
watching last night's replay. I said, Diva gonna hold on to the end. She gonna hold on.
You can't turn me around that
Oh
easy.
my
No,
God.
they was coming for me, but I enjoyed it. I was dying laughing at some of the comments. They was like, Diva, you are delusional. But yeah, but listen, boy, yeah. How do you want to close this thing out?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's not much I can really say after Robin and Chef Keith or Kev, excuse me. What a just I mean, one thing I can just say just from personal experience, of working with these parents and working with the children, it's all about the children. Let's set
Mhm.
aside the money, let's set aside the emotions, let's set aside the feelings. Let's get with the children, let's talk to the children. These kids are not dumb, y'all. These kids see, they
Yeah.
hear, they feel, and they know. And it is important that whatever you got going on between the parents, let's make sure that the children is taken care of mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Because at the end of the day, they're going to grow up to be you. And do you want them to be the exact reflection of what you're doing? Or do you want them to
Yeah.
be better than what you could have ever been? And I think
Mm.
everybody wants their
Amen.
children to be better than what they could have ever thought they could have ever been. So pay your child support, because if you don't, they will take that stimulus check, they will take them taxes, they will take your child support. I mean, your check, they will take your passport. They taking all your stuff. Listen, they out here reckless. So pay your
And they
child
got on
support
that sheet.
for whoever that was talking about custody, trying to get their see their granddaughter. Your
Shannon.
son Shannon, if I don't know if you're still on here, but your son has rights. He needs to go down to, depending on what state you live in, I don't know, but go down to the courthouse. They have specific people who work with you to get custody, to make sure that the father is seeing the children and that the family of the father is seeing the children. He
A
has
pro
rights.
se
He
attorney.
just needs to be consistent and stay with it. Don't let them slack off. If he ain't heard nothing in 30 days, he needs to be calling up there to see what's going on, because they have time frames and you have rights. Don't allow the courts, don't allow nobody to deny him or you of rights from that child. So make sure he does his homework and knows what he's doing. He ain't got to get no attorney. It ain't that deep. There are rights that he has legally to see that child, as long as he has not signed over his rights. So
Mhm.
tell him to look into his specific jurisdiction, specific county of his state, to see where he needs to go and who he needs to talk to in order to get that information.
And
All
typically,
right.
yeah, that would be a pro se attorney that's available in the court, correct?
Say that again.
I said typically, I know I'm in the Bronx, and that would probably most likely be a pro se attorney who would have just an office in the clerk's window in the courthouse. Pro
Correct.
se means okay.
Yes.
So I would seek out the pro se attorney.
Yeah,
Free.
you can see the pro se attorney, or you can just go to the clerk's office in the courthouse, and they have clerks who are there to specifically answer questions that you have for legal matters that you want to get taken care of, or that you want to file for, that you want to do whatever. That's what the clerks are there for. We got to use our public resources that are out here. And the only reason I feel like that a lot of us don't use it is because we don't know. I didn't know until I started working with the county and really being involved in all of this. So there are people, you have rights, just do your research and stay consistent, and you will get exactly what you want. I promise you.
All right, Brown Eyes. Thank you, Brown Eyes. Thank you, Roya. So listen, guys. I mean, I had fun as usual with y'all. What's today? Wednesday. I'll probably be back tomorrow night. Maybe have a little more time. We'll see. But this was a quick one. A nice conversation. We learned a lot of things, and I think the best thing that we could say is let the kids be first. Sometimes, and I think who said, Kate, you said it right. You had to take a lot on the chin. So did I, girlfriend. We can have long conversations about this. And I took it on the chin for the love of my kid. You understand? Like I let a lot of stuff go for the love of the kid. I'm telling you, because if it wasn't for the kid, it was for the love of the kid, okay? It was for the love of the kid, okay? And
Loving
sometimes you
children.
really have to do that. And if you like lean back, eventually the person ends up fighting with themselves because you disengage. I had to disengage. And then literally I said everything through text because you twisting up the words. You can't dispute the written word. And even when the text got crazy, I disengaged. I would bow out. And I literally started just using the word. I used to say, okay. It got to the point where I would literally put in the text the letter K. Goodbye.
Woo.
Like, I'm done. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to save your mental. Because some people will do everything to drive you up a wall. And it's like, yo, this is about the kids. You may hate me. I may hate you. We got to get over that. Everything should be for the love of the kids. I love you guys. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Roya, you know you my ride or die. I love you so much. Thank you for
Listen, we
coming
riding
through.
on this train. Look, I'm back on
We
the
got to be
train.
on the train. Yo. They think your auntie is a bad influence, though.
Listen, this
Around,
Auntie Diva, y'all leave my Auntie Diva alone. I ride until I got back on the other train. But look, we was getting murdered last night, so we was getting, so we had to get on off.
Listen, Robin, they took out the whip and they was like, woo, woo, woo. They was whipping us.
As long as y'all like the way the train chugs along, I'm here for it. On and off the track, however you go.
Look, I'm gonna say this is my last thing, Robin. Yes. It was me last night talking about I'm defending Martell.
Wait, and now you see, and by the way, now you see why I do the avatar, because I am quite animated.
Oh my God, honey. That was everything.
But Robin, thanks for being here. Chef Kev, thank you for your words of wisdom. And I think if y'all didn't get nothing from us, get this. Love the kids. The kids gotta come first. The kids gotta come first. So love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hit that like button if you didn't already hit it. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you coming back tomorrow night. We'll probably do some type of trending topics, but we're gonna be here 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see y'all. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.
They said we selling bridges, Roya. They said they gonna sell us both some bridges. Lorraine, don't do that. Don't do that.
Get out of here, people.
Get out of here. Good night. Good night.